Thanks for showing up today, man. Unexpected. I love those impromptu visits.
Yeah, well, you said wine and food, so I said I'll make time. So I made my way down. We actually today we have a 2021 Rosé and 2021 white blend. The idea was just to try to have some fun summertime foods that we want to pair together. We have 4 dishes that we chose here at Bolero that include like ceviche. We have an octopus style ceviche, and then we have jamón ibérico, and also an interesting watermelon heirloom salad. So we're gonna try that. Depending on the wines, how citrusy or sweet they are, we'll see how they pair together.
Awesome, man.
So I'm gonna pour you this here. You tell me when then.
Perfect.
All right, perfect. So like I said, the whole point of this is just to be fun and easy to drink. So when I tell people, when they ask me, what do I pair this with? I normally tell them that, you can kind of experiment. This can go with cheeses that are creamy. This can go with normal fish dishes, citrus. And then today here, we're going to try a little more of like fun vegetable blends.
Okay.
So I think the first one we should try is probably that watermelon and heirloom tomato salad.
Awesome. Yeah. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So like I said, the natural fruit flavors here, I think it's just going to complement the natural citrus flavors in this dish right here. It has arugula, pine nuts, a little bit of goat cheese, and a sherry vinaigrette, right? So it already has some strong flavors, and just we're looking for something to complement it and not overwhelm it. So this isn't something where traditionally people are going to say, hey, that's traditionally what's mixed and paired with it. But the idea about this wine is that it's versatile, so it can pair with something that's really eclectic like this, really not common.
Got it. Let's dig in.
But let's say you're having people over. This is the style of things that you want to serve, just because it can probably hit a lot of different palates, right?
Mm-hmm.
The wine itself is not overly oaky or sweet or buttery, which some people love and some people really don't like. What we're trying to strike is a balance here, and I think the food's doing the same. Finding food that is going to be pretty widely accepted. The octopus is a little more exotic for some people, but this watermelon heirloom tomato, you really can't go wrong, right? How many people are going to really be like, I don't eat those kind of things, right?
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's really good, well balanced. Your wine pairs perfectly with it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think it got chilled to a perfect temperature. So once again, man, just warm summertime wine, chill it down, make an uncomplicated meal. We're outside; it's a little warm, but actually it works out pretty well.
Exactly. Well, it's not too warm. It's about 80 degrees here in Temecula today, and it's okay.
Oh, that's a Lodi winter. I won't complain. So the next thing we're gonna try actually is the octopus ceviche. So I'll have you serve yourself first.
Okay.
The ceviche has shrimp, whitefish, calamari, and then fresh citrus. So a lot of different seafood flavors in a sense, but then just a nice citrus kind of glaze put over it.
Beautiful.
You like octopus, huh?
Yes, I do.
So that's the one thing that like people in my family don't always. Although there are like parts of my family that love all kinds of seafood, and octopus is always on the menu. But for some people, it's a little exotic. But I like to say that like it's usually pretty mild, and it really takes on the flavors of the rest of the meal that you're gonna have here. So we'll see if this is the same here.
I think the octopus. Sometimes it depends where you order it, right? Sometimes when you order it, at the wrong restaurant, it's very tough.
Yeah.
And that's what deters you from ordering it again. Here we're going to find out. It's going to be your first try, my first try. We're going to think about how it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's dig in. Super good.
That's exceptionally good. It even brings some of those charred flavors from the barbecue that pairs with that. Is there citrus in there? What is that?
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
Wow. So I love that citrusy. I love the chard on the octopus. It's nice and tender, and it does not taste like chicken. I think a lot of people always say it tastes like chicken. You know, it does.
Is that right? Is that because chicken just kind of tastes like anything? Right? No.
Right?
No, but it's very it's not chewy at all. What do you think of that? Is that garlic in there?
There's garlic in here. I love the purple onions. The chard on the octopus is to perfection, man. This is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that charred portion of it really brings a lot of that complexity, you know? It's funny, this is layered. So I thought it was going to be a really simple dish, but it seems like there's a lot of flavors to this.
Mm-hmm.
See how it tastes with the wine. And these are pretty different dishes, man. We're talking about that subtle sweet in the watermelon, heirloom tomato, but overall a very gentle dish. A little olive oil, and now we get to this where there's some barbecued smoke flavors. There's citrus, there's avocado, and that garlic that I think is still subtle, but it's there.
Right.
And once again, what we're talking about is that this wine can kind of pair with both of those, right? We're not going to pair this with something with a big red sauce. These are still both mild enough, but very different dishes that you can make at home pretty easy.
Man, so this is my first time trying, the octopus hair, and this is going to be another go-to dish for me, especially for right now for the summer. Right, this is such great for the summer, but I think even wintertime, just because you get that barbecue type charred taste, meaty, it's super good, man. Definitely a go-to dish now.
Yeah, and I don't know if I tried something specifically like this, especially with that chard and garlic that's coming through. Like you said, man, this is kind of like a new favorite of mine.
Yeah, Chef Hany does not disappoint.
Not at all. You think about it, what we're talking about mostly here is about the food, and that's what wine really is supposed to do, is complement the meal that you're having, the conversation that you're having. We're having a good time, and we're really focused on this meal, and the wine is a perfect accompaniment to that. So it's not overpowering. It's just something that you can keep sipping on, enjoying while you kind of talk about the meal at hand. So next thing we're going to move on to, now we're going to pull out the rosé wine, right? Yep. Rosé wine specifically has a little bit of residual sugar. The idea is to not be overly sweet, but have a sweet presence, because most of the time when we order drinks and we're having something, usually it has something with a little sugar in there, right? We like to say we don't like any sugar and everything, but that's not the case.
Right.
And so this rosé has just enough to create a little more of a softer, lusher kind of mouthfeel. So where acidic wines are really sharp and they kind of get you right here, this one once again is trying to be a little creamier, but this is harvested to meant to be like a traditional rosé, right? So in case people don't know, rosés can be made where you harvest it at a chemistry where it's meant to be really a fresh and natural acid. Or you can take a red wine and bleed it off and make a rosé because it's slightly pink, but the chemistry is way different. The acid's way lower, the pH is way higher. That really changes what you can do with the wine. So this is still a traditionally made rosé. I just stopped the fermentation a little early, trapped some of that sugar, and create a really approachable rosé. Actually, that we're going to share it with, we have this jamón ibérico, so acorn-fed Spanish ham that has actually some, looks like almonds, some bread, but it also has a honeycomb in there, right?
Right.
So we're talking about some sweetness, and we'll see. I'm not familiar with this ham, so I don't know if it's salty or not, but it'll be interesting to try it. And then we have a ceviche that, once again, not just shrimp, it has fish, it has calamari. And then it has, you said it has a little habanero in there, right?
It has a hint of a habanero there on there, which is really good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to try it. Let's do it.
Right. So this rosé is a blend of Grenache and Mauvais. 2 red grapes, originate in France, but are grown in many regions, including Lodi. Once again, I really like how in Lodi these give really fun, rich fruit qualities. When it's really dry, you get even strawberry, Jolly Rancher candy off of this, all natural to the wine. And we're going to be pairing it. First, let's try the jamón and the honeycomb and see how that pairs well. So I'm just curious to see what the sweet honeycomb balances out with the sweetness of the wine. Let's see which one.
That's jamón ibérico. I think it's like a little paper, man. Look at this.
Really finely thin. Yep.
That good stuff. Let's try a little bit of that. So the honey. This, right? Let's get a bit of the honeycomb. Wow, this is pretty sticky. Yeah, I need a knife for this. Or you could use your...
or we could use a knife.
Yeah, butter knife.
It doubles as a honey knife.
Yeah, it does.
So I apologize if there's a lot of crunching happening, but it is what it is.
It's a popular restaurant. We have a lot of people here today. So that's why you hear the background noise, which is great because that tells you it's a great restaurant. Man, that was... What's your thought?
So, people are going to say, of course you're going to like the pairing, but I really like it, right? Because my concern was, because we haven't tasted this before, right? Mm-hmm. The idea was, all right, is the honey going to be a little too sweet where it makes the wine seem bitter? Will the ham and the combination of the semi-sweet wine create any kind of bitter feelings in your mouth? And I think they pair pretty well, actually. Especially with the honeycomb. Actually, the sweetness kind of like amplified, not in a way that it makes it overpowering, but they both seem to kind of melt pretty well.
Good afternoon. My name is Hany Ali, and I'm the executive chef here at Bolero, the home of Yoruba Village Winery and Resort here in Temecula Valley. And here I have Chris that is joining me here on this lovely day.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate on the beautiful Temecula day. My name is Chris with Seis Soles. What's interesting is that we also took this dish that they make and then sprinkled a little bit of habanero on it because we wanted to kick it up a little more. So earlier you were telling us how this is very much a California style ceviche, right?
It is a California style ceviche, and I don't want it to be a part of that battle between, all the Latin cultures that everybody think that between Mexico and Peru and all these Latin American countries that believe that they have the best ceviche. I do not want to be part of that, so we're gonna call it California ceviche.
So we're staying neutral, huh? All right.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
It's serious business. All right. So I'm definitely I'm ready to taste it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna scoop a little bit. So we got the whitefish, some onion, and then make sure I get some healthy amount of habanero right there. Perfect.
And it's nice. The spice, the spice of the habanero, it add a unique flavor to it, and it balances super well with the wine. And it shouldn't be too spicy for you.
Okay. Well,
Salud, salud.
Salud. Yeah.
It's not too spicy for me. I hope it's not too spicy for you either.
No, it's balanced out, right? The heat starts coming on, but that citrus kind of balanced it out, and some of that paste that you talked about, I'm not as familiar with it, but it creates kind of a creaminess that allows that heat to just kind of evenly dissipate, you know?
It's a celery paste and garlic paste. There are two ingredients on almost every food that you possibly think of.
100%, yeah.
What do? We take those, the crispness from the celery, and we blend that with some onions, and we blend them, and we call it celery paste.
Okay.
And then we do garlic paste. We take the garlic and we add some our famous Yoruba Village olive oil that it blends super well, and we blended that and we make garlic paste. Now we create two ingredients or two items that they accommodate the dish. Those are the signature in our recipes here.
No, I love it because it's complex, it's layered, and then you take a sip of the refreshing wine and it kind of cleanses your palate. It's ready to try a whole new bite, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it's
Cheers.
delicious, Chef.
Cheers, my friend.
Of course. Awesome.